dipersembahkan oleh
Infrastructure development is one of the basic aspects needed in ensuring national growth socially and economically. There needs to be a sustained and continued cooperation between the government and private sector to see an accelerated infrastructure development in the country. One of the ways to facilitate this development is to hold exhibitions and seminars that serve as a platform where stakeholders of the industry of various sectors share their ideas and solutions. Now, this is where the 2014 Indonesia Infrastructure Week comes in. Joining us on the perspective today, Chief Executive Officer of Infrastructure Asia, Alan Solo. Hello, Alan.
Hi, hello.
Thanks for joining us. Now, Infrastructure Week, this, I understand it has been, you've hosted this for the last 5 years. Can you just explain to us in a nutshell how it started and what's Infrastructure Week is all about?
Actually, Infrastructure Week came together last year as a composition of 4 of the main infrastructure sector topics actually in order to create a red carpet for the new administration this year. So it's a combination of 4 main shows that comprise the ecosystem of infrastructure. The first infrastructure show actually began in 2010, and it was hosted by the United Nations here in Indonesia. And based on the model that we developed with the United Nations at that summit, with a hosted program for the ministers of the Asia Pacific on infrastructure, we were able to translate that business model into bringing the governors and the regional governments of Indonesia across and into Jakarta for a summit where they can present their priority projects. What's happened is, over last year, it became apparent that connectivity is the main theme here in ASEAN and in Indonesia, connecting the archipelago. So 2 main shows have come off of the original Regional Governments Conference. One of them is the National Broadband Symposium, which is being hosted by Detiknas and by Mastel, and with Pak Ilham Habibie, who is the chairman of Detiknas in his newly appointed position. The other one is Airports and Aviation. And Airports and Aviation is being driven by the Masyarakat Transportasi Indonesia in partnership with our group Infrastructure Asia and Tarsus. We're actually also the organizers of the Dubai Air Show, and we think we can bring a lot of valuable contribution to that sector in this marketplace as well. The 4th show that takes place under the Infrastructure Week is the Construction Indonesia Show, which actually we manage for the Department of Public Works. And it's their annual trade forum for catalyzing the infrastructure sector, the construction sectors in line with growth with the ASEAN Open Economic Community for 2015.
Okay, and there's another, the Indonesia International Infrastructure Conference exhibition. That's also with the regional government conference. That's also one of the sectors that's coming together on this year's Infrastructure Week.
In fact, the Regional Governments Conference is the complementary conference to the Indonesia International Conference and Exhibition on Infrastructure. It's our flagship show. It's the flagship event. It's from that show that the broadband and the aviation sectors, which are critical to connectivity, were born from.
What has been your challenges in bringing together the stakeholders on this one big conference?
Well, you know, the topic itself is so huge. You can imagine the ecosystem or the stakeholders in any one of these events is tremendous. You could literally develop a trade show on its own. Pulling everybody together so that we get the cross-pollination from one sector to the other sector. The Broadband and ICT Communication Expo is looking to streamline the enterprise solutions across the construction and the airport sectors and the regional governments. The regional governments need airports and need construction. The construction guys would like to build airports. I mean, so basically by pulling everybody together, you get a cross-pollination across all events, and hopefully this is a nice flavor.
It couldn't have come or happened in a more impeccable time. The new administration has taken position in making sure infrastructure development comes first in the next 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. This is made to order for them. We've actually been developing this since last year. Last year, we pulled these 4 shows together in order to get a head start, and this has actually been in the planning stages for already 1 year. So this is literally, I wish we would have had a little bit more time, and the cabinet would have come a little bit earlier, and the elections would have finished a little bit sooner, but the red carpet is there. The entire building is 100% sold out. I think what you'll see, and if people come to visit this exhibition, you'll see probably the greatest showcase of technologies that can change the way we live forever. Inside this building is probably every company that is ready and willing to work with Indonesia going forward. And we've got about 23 provinces exhibiting their regional priority projects.
All right, 23 provinces. We'll talk about more on communication and connecting, bringing them together into Infrastructure Week when we come back. The conversation on Indonesia Infrastructure Week will return shortly.